Oh shit!
No.
Don't ever disrespect me looking like a hall monitor
Off-duty hall monitor.
with them fucking glasses on, bro. Looking like a fucking third grade math teacher.
Don't ever disrespect me with fake glasses on. Talking about them's is Ray-Bans.
Yo,
Them's is Ray-Bans, though.
Come here. Connect the dots. Yeah.
Yo, it's time we head to the top. We cannot settle or stop. Out for the best. Coming up next, we connect the dot.
we here, man. Welcome back.
Welcome. Like, yeah. It's, connect the dot.
We're
We're back.
Boom.
You know who we are.
Kind of aggressive.
Yeah, it was a little. We're not usually like this, all right, guys. But today we're getting excited because we got another episode for you guys, and we've been having a good time doing this so far. I hope you guys are enjoying it. If you haven't watched, go back, watch some of the podcasts, get to know us a little bit, and you're gonna find out that we're four motherfuckers that are just really angry at each other. I think, don't ever disrespect me looking like you ain't about to say nothing.
Don't ever disrespect me looking like Finding Dora.
Don't ever disrespect me looking like the person that's looking for Dora.
Don't ever disrespect me looking like the person who just disrespect me.
Okay, all right. We're gonna get to this
We're
in a
gonna
little
edit
bit more.
Guys,
Comment who wins in the comment section.
Yeah, exactly. Yo, hit that subscribe button, hit that follow button.
No, redo that shit. And the share button.
Share that shit. Yo, go ahead, bro. Don't worry, we're live.
Hey man, look, we could cut everything out. The editor is great.
Oh yeah, remember the editors? With the editor we had back in the day. Do you remember the editor, Gus, that we used to have back in the day? Yo, he was such a sick editor. That guy that never ever once edited a single podcast, and we never cut anything out because we stayed live and raw.
That is amazing.
Live and raw. You know what I mean? Like some fresh bait. We should be fishing in the
raw,
rivers.
like some.
Okay, all right. Let's get into it.
On a different transition. You know who was live and raw? Joe Budden.
This guy throws in the. This guy
Joe
throws in the Joe
Budden.
Budden.
Joe Budden.
this
He had
right
a live mic and he went raw, and he was raw with his comments.
doesn't-
You know what I'm trying to say? He was raw with his comments,
Yeah.
no holding back. By now, if you haven't heard, there's been a little tiff, I guess a reignition of the beef between Drake and Joe Budden because of comments that Joe Budden made in his podcast concerning Drake's newest album, For the Dogs, For All the Dogs. Basically, if you don't know, maybe I'm just encapsulating in a nutshell. He's just saying that Drake should be making songs for an older generation or older audience because he's an older person. He's an older artist now. He's how many albums deep. He didn't really feel the album because he didn't think it was Drake's best work, and he's thinking he should be working with more artists, more his age and his age group. That was Joe Budden's take on things.
Yeah, but Joe Budden, it's funny because everybody's mad at Joe Budden. Like, so many people are like,
Hold on, before we get to that, I'm not going to cut you off. Just I want to get both sides of it. So Drake's response to that.
Okay.
Yeah, Drake's response to that was basically, what was it? I make the songs you want to make. Don't kind of, follow into any.
He got a little personal.
Then he got personal.
He got a little personal.
He got in his emotional bag.
He got a little personal.
He took to Instagram.
Yeah, he got emotional.
Joe Budden's a failed artist in comparison to him.
He's
right?
a failed artist.
About how we know him more for podcasting as opposed to doing rap music, as opposed, the amount of people and the type of people he has at his shows are guys, and I don't even want to get into the comments, but
Okay, but can we talk about the tone of that Instagram post where he made it sound like he was sounding to like the grade 9s that are just starting out and rapping or something like that? He's like, yo, listen here, kids. Don't let anybody ever tell you that you ain't good enough. Or I don't know, like the way he said it was kind of like.
I'll say this as an artist myself. I never wanted to feel pressure or think that you shouldn't make a song.
No, not that he was wrong.
Because you should, or not make a song because you shouldn't, right? Make the song you want to make. That's a creative process.
Yeah.
Of what we're trying to do, right?
So this is what he said. He said, at Joe Budden, you failed at music. You left it behind to do what you are doing in this clip because this is what actually pays your bills. For any artist watching this, just remember you are watching a failure give their opinion on his idea of a recipe for success. A quitter give their opinion on how to achieve longevity. You switched careers because the things that pop into your brain have you broke living check to check, and the raps you write had 450 men showing up to your shows in dusty Inichi jeans to screw up their face to Mood Music 29 and pretend you are the GOAT.
Guts feels emotionally attacked. Personally and emotionally attacked.
Personally. Who didn't rock Inichi jeans, bro?
You know that it was actually, they're not even supposed to be called Inichi.
What is it?
It's NYC.
Okay.
And then everyone called them Anichi. Anyways, I learned that
Anyways,
recently.
well,
Anyways,
whatever. Please to any artist doing this. Please to any artist that's doing what they feel is right. Don't let these opinions affect your mindset after the fact. The rap star wrote. This guy is the poster child of frustration and surrendering. You retired and we never hung up your jersey. We don't even remember your number. We know you for.
everyone remembers.
We know you
Pump
for
it
doing
up.
this.
Come on.
You withdrew from rap not because of what you accomplished. All you need to it's because it wasn't working for you. I never want anybody in this generation to think everybody's entitled to their whole opinion is a real thing. This is a man projecting his own self-hate and the fact I did and continue to do everything he wanted to do for himself. If you need to put it in simpler terms, I own a 767 and he owns a modest house in the 1973 or in the 973 and flies first class on special occasions.
Well,
That's essentially what he wrote.
that's personal.
So that was, I mean, I don't know, man. Like, have you guys listened to Joe Budden's take on the album?
I did. I listened to, like I said,
I didn't think he was too
I hope
harsh.
I summarized it. Well, we don't have time to I didn't obviously read everything he said word for word, but I hope I summarized it well. And I mean, I hear what he's saying in some ways, but what I will say is just two things. I mean, I don't agree with everything that either one of them said, but I do agree with a couple things. I mean, hey, man, artists grow and they do grow, but you can't tell an artist to grow per se. It's true. We always say, oh, we want the old artist the way he was before. But if you're the old artist the way you were before, sometimes you never, become something different and grow and develop and whatever, what you're going to evolve, let's say, right? However, Drake kind of came at him hard with, the personal attacks on whatever. If you choose to, change your avenue in this, space of hip hop, that's cool. Again, I kind of not necessarily agree, but I understand this point of a guy who is not doing it on the level, not even on the level, but not doing it anymore, has chosen to take another avenue, is now trying to give advice on people who are trying to do it. So, I mean, hey, man, both of them have points. Drake came a little hard, but then again, at the same time, Budden's he was kind of harsh with his take, even though everybody has a
Hard with
their
his
opinion.
take. Okay.
Harsh
Buddy,
with his take, I
if
said.
you're going to just keep
I said
on
harsh
rolling
with
with
his
the
take.
gun. No,
I
but
said harsh with his take. But yeah,
I don't mean to
everybody
cut
has
you off,
an opinion, right?
Yeah.
And I mean, Budden's opinion, you can have it, but he was kind of harsh, which made, I believe, Drake take it personal and fire back personally, remembering that they had a beef in the past too, right?
Buddy Drake's dad was madder than anybody, though. Did you see?
Yeah. Our baby was throwing threats. Baby was throwing threats.
I feel like people seem to forget that there's subgenres to this shit because Budden's is a bar heavy rapper in his own right. I'm not really the biggest fan of Budden's, but I heard on 1 and 2 that I like of him, so I'll give him his P's where it's due. Everybody already knows what Drake does. You know what I'm saying? Drake's the fucking biggest rapper in the motherfucking globe.
He's like Justin Bieber
You know what I'm
of rap.
saying? Basically, if you want to go that far, yeah, you know what I'm saying? But people the MCs need to forget, especially the older MCs need to remember. Sorry, not need to forget. They need to remember that there's subgenres of this thing that we do. You know what I'm saying? Not every motherfucking record, not every single artist is gonna be the motherfucking bar king of the fucking globe. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's not every, just like if I drop my shit right now, not everybody's gonna motherfucking like it, but people that like it are gonna like it.
I feel you on that, but also so what Joe Budden was saying though too is he's like, Drake can get in his bag where he can rap for the guys. And the album was called For the Guys or something.
Dogs.
For the Dogs, right? So everybody was expecting bars from Drake. So a guy like Budden probably took it in and wasted his time. He probably felt like God. I mean, he kind of has to. He's at this point he's a hip hop journalist, but at the same time it wasn't for him, But Drake kind of marketed like it was for him in a sense. And so I feel like that was what made him kind of give it a little bit more of an opinion. And I think he heard it and he was disappointed because he wanted to hear Drake drop bars.
I mean, I heard when I remember seeing the title because I don't really follow what's going on until I hear it. But I remember seeing the title, New Drake album for the Dogs. I was like, sick. All right, this should be hard then.
Right, that's what I'm saying. That's how I feel like Budden was, and he was like, okay, he probably put a robe on, had a cigar lit, his OVO slippers on, and he was ready to listen to that shit, and he sat down to go listen to it, and all of a sudden he was just like, I'm by with another guy, or what did he say? What was the bar? Hold on. I seen you make a post about it. Hold on.
Hold on. Before we get into that,
No,
please.
but no. What was the bar? Just what was the bar?
Feel like I'm bi because you're one of the guys. You're like one of the guys, girl. That's what he said. Feel like I'm bi because you're like one of
Can
the
you
guys.
understand why Budden would be upset though?
I get it. I feel
come
like he
on.
did that on purpose, though.
That's what I was saying. Yeah,
You
I
know
think
what I'm
that too.
saying? That was
He's trying to get people pissed
that was
off.
on
I think,
purpose.
maybe.
Listen.
I laughed at it when I heard it or when I seen the clip on TikTok when I was scrolling and shit. But it's a thing where I'm just like, whatever, yo. I don't really expect anything. I don't have high expectations from anything. You know what I'm saying? I just, what the fuck did this guy just say? LOL, LOL, LOL. That's it. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? But it's fucking weird as shit, though.
But again, it's marketing and promotion, right? It got you.
That's
like,
why I think he did it on purpose. He did
Yeah.
it for us to be
But-
doing this right now.
but that
You know what I'm
just-
saying?
you know
so
what?
shout out to this guy for the Drizzy for that shit.
Yeah,
Yeah,
It's got people talking. That's for sure.
Drizzy, that's what he normally would do, right? But I mean, the whole thing with the whole Joe Budden thing, what kind of, you got to look at it in plenty of ways, right? Like from Joe Budden's side, right? You got to look at it where, yes, you expected a certain sound from Drake, you expected a certain take from Drake, and you know. And the avenue that he's in right now and what he's doing, he's evolved to what he's done. He's a podcaster. And sure, he may not be a rapper, but he's a part of the culture. And that's what hip hop is. It's like, if you can contribute some way, somehow to the culture, and now having the podcast platform and to cater to that section, like that's an accomplishment.
Yo, listen.
That's definitely an accomplishment. Hold on. And with that, it's like I think that people need to be celebrated still, you know, and the fact that you don't want to just be a rapper. That's the thing. When you look at a lot of the most successful rappers in the game, they were more than just rappers. You know what I mean? Like LL Cool J, you can argue like he has a deep rap catalog, but he also has a deep Hollywood catalog. Look at Ice Cube, who started
Method
the
Man.
right?
Method Man's
Like these guys have evolved as prominent actors and grown bigger than the music. Like, obviously, you can go back to that bag, but at the end of the day, it's like Buttons is good. He's always been saying that he's good where he's at right now. And it's like, it's not like he's another, I think the problem with Drake, and I think the problem with anybody who has a problem with Buttons, is they need to stop attacking him as a rapper. He's not a rapper anymore.
Okay.
He's not a rapper anymore. He's a fucking, he's a media. He's an he provides just, the media personnel,
He's like a
commentary.
journalist. Like,
He's
that's
a
what I'm
journalist.
saying.
He's not a rapper anymore. Sure, he was one, but he's not one anymore. And it is what it is. And for anybody to have a take on hip hop is Buttons. You can say that because look, like anybody can talk about hip hop. Anybody can have opinion on shit and and you know what I mean? Like you look at like guys like Vlad, guys like Adam 22 that don't have really that that hip hop connection per se. Like they're not rappers. You know what I'm saying? But these guys have the biggest podcasts, these biggest platforms, whatever.
Vlad was actually a DJ, though.
What's that?
Vlad was actually a DJ.
Well, yeah, but I'm saying like, you know what I mean? But the talk and commentating on like rap music, right? At least Buttons has been a part of the culture.
Yeah.
And he's built his platform from like every podcast he's
Slaughterhouse and
touched.
shit too,
Every
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like when Drake like kind of went at him, I was a little surprised because like I get it, you're like the Justin Bieber. But my thing is like, bro, like don't act like Buttons didn't have like shit on lock. And,
Sure,
like, bro, he was a mixtape legend, bro.
and he never got to Drake's success, which is fine.
But he never aimed for really Drake's success. He wasn't in that same lane. That's the Specs' point.
Yeah.
Like it's a different genre. Like this guy's underground New York hip hop.
And that's the thing. Like, but that's my problem is that you look at with Drake. I think he attacked him like with the thought process of him being a rapper and him like not being on that same success type of thing. And here's my other issue with it is that when do we ever get to society? When do we ever get to a point of society, even as like rappers or entertainers or whatever, that you can't be critical on what they do? Why do we have to like Drake's music?
Okay, but why are we overlooking the fact that Drake's talking smack to Bud and saying some shit like, "Look, I have a jet,"
right?
But you're only doing first class.
Why is he doing
that? But hold on, how many rappers out there that Drake idolizes or champions or has even at his side? That obviously except for the people that are on his plane, right? But I'm saying is like any of these other rappers, like a lot of them aren't doing the same thing. Like, you had to humble yourself. Like, you had humble beginnings. You started from the bottom, now you're here. So why are you acting as if, like, okay, because you got to presidential status, basically.
Right.
This guy's got the key to the world. Like, you know what I'm saying? Not most people aren't there. Like, that's like, he's a 1%er, and so he's like dissing everyone else that's not a 1%er.
But I just don't like the fact that like Buttons isn't allowed. It's like nobody's allowed to not like Drake's album. Like nobody's allowed. Like
Right.
like everybody has to like, because you look like, because Buttons said what he said, and like if you go and you listen to Buttons like take on it.
Yeah.
It's not like he was dissing him. It's not like
he didn't
he was
dog
being
him.
honest.
Yeah.
He's being whatever, and he said he goes, I'm good. He goes, if Drake, he said, even if Drake was retired today, I would be more than pleasant, more than good with what he provided for this game. He goes, I've been a fan. I'm a huge fan.
Yeah.
And he talks about it. He goes, I just wanted to hear, like, he just wanted to hear more.
Yeah.
Right?
No, he wanted to hear
He
bars.
wanted to hear more.
He got
He wanted to
misled.
hear-
He got misled.
He wanted to hear more. And that's rightfully so, because like
Yo,
you
listen,
have guys like, J. Cole, right? That cater more to that, more of that adult sound. Like, no, like, he has that more like sophisticated.
But yo, at the same time,
The
though,
conscious almost.
at the same time, people need to listen to stuff with intent. Like, if you're gonna listen to an album and you know it's out of your lane and you know you're not gonna get what you're expecting from it, listen to it. Here, break it down like this: if I listen to a Drake album, I never listen to the new one, but if I listen to it right now, I'm not listening to it expecting to bop my head and be like, "Oh shit, this is fire."
Exactly.
I'm gonna listen to it expecting to hear music and maybe take a 1 and 2 good lines out, and maybe even find a song that I actually like.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Even I might oddly like a song and be like,
Right.
shit,
Exactly.
Yeah.
song's
So,
actually dope. You know what I'm saying?
and then
But
again, like here's the other way you got to look
sure.
at it too. When, like you said, Drake had some points, right? Like Drake's execution of what he said was fucked up. But Drake had a point where it's like you said to Drake, is that a lot of these old heads have to understand that, like, the avenues, the way that this music has kind of evolved, and even like the older heads, like you look at guys like Jay-Z, guys like
they embraced the
Eminem and
youth, though.
Nas.
They
At
embraced
that
the
age, at the age that Drake is at right now, Drake is what, 37, whatever. You don't think that these guys were talking about popping bottles and young shit at that age when these guys were spitting verses and shit?
I don't know the age, but you're probably right. But I mean, everybody evolves and everything.
But I was just saying though, like
and people
music has different genres and different avenues, but at the same time, it's like we have to. You have to come to a point where like you have to accept shit for what it is, and like us old head rappers can't always think, oh, these guys need to be lyrical and drop bars, and I don't want to hear the party.
Yo,
shit.
listen,
Like,
that shit's still out there though. If people like, we're MCs like that, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So that shit, my bad to cut
But-
you off, by the way.
but I know what I'm saying.
It's the thing is like, people just gotta dig for it. I just don't personally want to dig, so it's like I'll listen to what I listen to. 9 times out of 10,
and
I'm
it's
listening
there.
to reggae
It's
anyway.
never died,
You
and
know
it
what I'm
never
saying?
will
I think
die.
the
But
over-
but
Definitely there.
but a guy like that's on Drake's status, it's like I saw a funny meme. I saw a funny meme the other day that said, like, I bet you if DMX came out with an album that said "For the Dogs," it would definitely be "For the Dogs."
That's what I was
And
trying to
I was
say,
like,
bro.
I thought about it for a second. I was like,
that's
damn.
that's like my only point in
That's-
this whole
that's-
thing is
yeah.
like, bro,
But DMX is a
like
different artist from
don't
Drake.
don't
That's
market
what I
it,
think.
but don't market it like it's gonna
Hold
be
on, hold on,
okay.
wait,
But
wait,
just
wait.
hold on, but okay, I'll get you.
Yeah.
I just one quick thing. Just imagine like that you're literally Joe Budden. You pull out the album, you're about to listen to it, and then like
Look at
all of a sudden the
artwork- look at
sus
artwork
stuff.
on the album.
All of a sudden the sus stuff starts coming out.
Look at the artwork on the album, though. I know it's his
Okay,
son. I'm not hating
okay.
on his son. I'm just saying, like, you think that's gonna be the hardest thing when it's his son that drew it?
I mean,
that-
I was still expecting
West Side
bars.
Gun did it.
I was expecting bars.
West Side
I
Gun
was
did it with his
expecting
daughter.
bars, bro. I'm not gonna lie. I was, and
and he's Drake. He's not West Side Gun, right?
But I
This
just
is not
thought Drake was
DMX.
gonna go in his bag because he has the bag. That's why I kind of agree with Budden on that. Like I could just picture specifically at Joe Budden because he's like an underground hip hop New York head, like you know what I mean. Everything we talked about, and like all of a sudden he's like, yeah, Drake's gonna
I
go
don't
some
know.
bars, and then bro, what was,
But I
hold
don't-
on, hold on. We need to get into some of the other sus stuff because we got to keep it moving. We're already at 20 minutes. We've been talking
I
about
want to
this.
say one thing about this. I think one overarching thing that
Facts?
is everything else about
Facts,
and
producer?
I agree with you. I think one overarching thing.
Come on, guys.
And this is more than just rap and hip hop. This is just person to person, right? Stuff. When people have to understand that when you don't agree with somebody, doesn't mean you don't dislike them, right? If we have different.
So how do you agree about the bar though?
If
Like,
you disagree about those things,
how do you,
I just
no, we gotta.
We're gonna talk about that?
We have to transition.
We gotta talk about that shit.
I mean,
We
like,
already
we might
did.
as well.
We already did.
We talked about it for a second.
that was different, bro. That was nah, man. It was a bad execution in my opinion. I can understand why and where he said it and the context of what he's trying to say, but it still came across sus. Like, let's be honest.
Right.
You
So
know?
I'm just saying is that just to kind of transition here, right? Like again, like Budden goes to play it. All of a sudden, he starts hearing that though. Like okay. First of all, okay, it's one thing to like hear some like some R&B stuff. You were expecting rap. Okay, you know what? Nah, it's not for me. Cool. Maybe he turns it off. Right. But then that shit comes on.
Yeah.
Right. What do you say? What did you think of that stuff? Like, what's your take on that?
Listen, Bridget, if we're on the pause,
Feel like I'm bi because you're like one of the guys.
If we're listening to the pause culture and on this pause culture, then obviously you know what, it's not a great line. How about this? We understand the line.
Yeah.
We get what the wordplay, but it's still a sus line. So right, I wouldn't spit it if that's what you're asking. I wouldn't write it. I wouldn't spit it. I don't rate it like that. But again, as we were speaking about off camera before we got in here, it probably is for more shock value than anything else, because you don't think he listens to this stuff like we all listen to our music before and like what people are gonna say. Run it by other people first. See what they're gonna say. What do they think about this? Hey man, what do you say about that line? Da, 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 da. Yeah, people are just talk crazy about it.
Yeah.
Shit. Look how many girls I fuck, guy. You don't even think Drake's gay. Maybe he is, but I don't know. Fuck.
He feels like he's bi.
You know what I'm saying?
But that's it's funny though, because like that, like for me, like I didn't even think anything of it, and then I saw Guts talking about it, and I started laughing my ass off because I didn't even realize that that's what was going on. And it, like when I heard it, I was like, oh my god, this is like obviously the guy's not gay and he's doing it as a joke, straight up. Like let's just be honest, right? But
he's not the first. He's not the first rapper that's come out and said such things.
But my thing is like, okay,
here you go.
My whole thing is this.
For sure.
But hold on, what
Biggie did it? No.
Like, if you think of the narrative that so many
back
things,
to that in a second.
Think about the narrative that so many people are pushing, right? The schools, all this kind of stuff. Like, they're always trying to push. Like, this guy's like dropping like a bar in there. Like, sure, it might be. We might take it as a jokey thing, but like, could it not be that Drake is a plant, implanted, paid off? He's a paid hand in the government, trying to push some agenda, narrative. I mean, hey. Put that tinfoil hat on for a second and just walk with me. You know what I'm saying? And just think, what if?
I mean, anything's possible at the end of the day.
Put that tinfoil hat on.
I'm sure he has gay fans and bi fans, so
maybe he was, yeah.
But I mean, like
maybe
the whole
sophisticated to
the whole
that.
thing
Maybe
is
that's right.
I'm sure he has gay and bi fans.
That's the world.
not bad.
Like he's not the first artist that's come out like look at somebody like Tyler the Creator.
True.
Right? And he gets a pass in the hip hop community.
He's been a weirdo since he came out in the game though. Like,
but I mean, like
I'm not gonna call him a weirdo.
The man went on Funk Flex talking about how he wants to suck his dick.
That's weird.
You know what I'm saying?
That's wild. What I'm gonna say is this:
wild shit, bro.
And people still fuck with that guy.
But he's funny though.
That's wild. But like, and we don't
look at
them as like we talked before. We don't look at them as the same artists. We don't equate. They're both artists. We don't look at Tyler the Creator and Drake. You don't look at Drake and DMX and you don't look at them in the same vein. You know what I'm trying to say? They're both artists, but like, yeah, right. And Tyler, as far as I know, from Tyler first came out.
Okay, so going off of your point though,
when Tyler first came out, as far as I know, he identified or told the world he's like gay when he first.
Okay,
wasn't
so
like
let's go off
3 albums deep or whatever.
So let's go off your point where you said about look at Tyler the Creator and like whatever, like right? Okay, look at Drake.
If he said that line, you wouldn't think nothing.
Okay,
right?
So Drake, him saying that, are you surprised?
Surprised about the line? Yeah. Hold on. Surprised.
I'm not really.
No, seriously, how?
I wasn't too surprised.
But I mean, surprised about the line, I guess. But I don't think nothing different. I don't think his sexuality is in question.
I don't think. I don't know.
If you listen to the whole entire, he's talking about like a girl that's down with the guys all the time. And like, she's, and it's true. There are a lot of girls that are out there that are more like homies than,
or can hang with the man.
Like they hang the man like they're one of the guys, whatever. Yeah. Right? But it's like to say, it's just like I said, the execution of it, it gets lost in translation, in my opinion.
Can I say this? A good bar is like a good joke. What do I mean by that? If you got to explain it, right?
It's not a good joke.
You just hear a good joke. You don't have to explain it to you. You just laugh. You hear it, it's funny to you. Automatically, you're thinking, you just laugh. If I got to explain the bar to you, right? That's like, or like, it's not so good.
And I know that Drake probably has like a good foundation of a writing team around him, right? But at the end of the day, it's like there's a lot of you gotta look sometimes deep in the lyrics of like a lot of these rappers, and you have to decipher it. And Drake is good at that. Drake is good at
Oh, if you talk about subliminal stuff like that, or like
entendres and flipping,
yeah.
like different bar schemes and stuff. Like
Yeah.
he's witty in a way where it's like you have to actually like take it in and listen to it, and it's
Right.
like the premise of what he's saying, using a lot of the like Toronto slang and like a lot of like references to like what we would kind of know. It's like there's a lot of like I'm listening to that, especially from that camp, like the OVO camp and everything. But like I get it. It's just like I said, it's the execution of it. It just didn't come and like I'm kind of on the Joe Budden side because I think we all are on the Joe Budden side as rappers, or rappers and people who love the culture, the music. It's that we expected, or not expected. Sorry, we hoped that we can get that sound from Drake because a lot of people are hoping for a 444 Drake, but I don't think you're really gonna necessarily get that at this point in his career because he's still young. He's still young. He's still young enough to put out content.
Can I ask a question?
And he's not
You
like
can have some fun still.
he can still have that wiggle
you can
because
still have some fun
he's
still.
still a younger artist. Hold on, just hold your thing. But I'm saying, like, you gotta like really like kind of give him that window still, that praise because he's still young doing his thing, right? And but it's crazy though when you think about it though. Like to me, Drake still doesn't have that 5 Mic Classic album.
What's his best album?
I don't think he has it in him.
What's his best
No, I
album?
don't.
I think he does have it in him.
I don't think he
I'll tell you
tried
what
for
was
that
close
yet.
to
Though.
a-
I don't
I'll
think
tell you
he
what was
tried for
close.
that yet.
I will tell you what was close to a 5 Mic Classic. Scorpion, the first side.
I was gonna say that
The
too.
first side.
I was literally gonna say the only close one would be that, but even
The
that one,
first
no
side.
way.
No, you know why? You know why it went from a close 5 to a 3.5 maybe?
Right.
Is because it was a double album. That was the first thing.
Okay.
And the majority of the songs weren't as good as the main. Like the first album had all the slaps.
Yes.
He could have replaced maybe a 1-2 and taken was In My Feelings, and then there was another track he did. I think he used was it a Michael Jackson sample or can't remember. I think it might have been a Michael Jackson
I
sample.
don't know, but actually both of those albums were pretty good. Like they were like it was a good duo album. But
I didn't think it was
I wouldn't go 5 mics, but I hear you. Like
it was close to a 5 mic. That was the only takeaway for me. Like I think there was a lot of fillers compared to a lot of the bangers like slapped. Like he had a lot. Like he had Nonstop on there. He had a lot of bangers on there.
Can we remember that Drake blew up off of Replacement Girls? Like that's like how he broke into the game. Really, like Replacement Girls was like his first like big tune. That
I heard "You the Best." That was the first time I heard.
Well, there's older Drake than that.
I'm not saying there is.
What,
I'm
then
saying
Replacement
I just
Girls?
said that's the first
No,
time I
You the
heard.
Best.
That's the first
But
time
Replacement Girls.
I heard
was
that
like
from the big East
one,
Girl to
right?
West Girl.
Or like yeah, who's on Replacement Girls? Trey Songz.
Which one was that again?
Anyways, it's an older song. It was like when he broke into the game. Like in Toronto, we heard like "City Is Mine" and we heard all those like kind of ones for the Toronto like kind of underground side. But like when he actually popped, it was with the song with Trey Songz, and he rode that little like that Trey Songz thing into the market there. But he already had a fan base. But it was the Trey Songz one, and like that's what kind of made him pop. So like people keep forgetting that like Drake actually started popping when he started singing. Yeah.
Let me show you what it is. I was birthed up top, I was raised at the bottom of the map where the girls all thick and the hottest rap. If you looking for the good, and we got them in the trap like took it from white snakes to this metaphor might sound
This album was okay too. The older
Yeah,
Drake?
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, this is actually what I started liking. Well, I also knew Boy Wonder. So, like, I knew about Drake before Drake was Drake in a sense, right? And, like, even, like, some of the music, right? And, like, I was like, damn, like, this guy's sick, right? And then when this stuff dropped, like, man, this stuff was crazy, like, But, like, that song, Replacement Girls, like, you hear his flow on it, you hear his cadence, you hear what he's talking about. Like, this is kind of goes to, like, me and you were having the debate earlier about, like, whether Drake is, like, like, trying to be a street guy or whether he's, like, trying to, like, and I agree with you that, like, there is that side to him where, like, he does kind of put that on, like, his sleeve, like, I'm from the streets, basically, I know I'm connected or whatever, but then you hear, like, something like that, and, like, that's truly Drake as an artist right there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, that's it. Like, he's an R&B type of track. He's a soft cat, like, when it comes to his lyrics and stuff, and, he's having fun with it because he knows when he says stuff like that, it's going to piss off the streets and shit. And look, Joe Budden, says something that all of a sudden Twitter fingers Drake comes in, and he's got this long emotional thing. Like, he could have got at him on a track. He could have seen him, like, in the streets, whatever. I don't know. I just feel like he's he's kind of a soft dude in a sense, and I don't mean that in the sense
emotional.
of like
He's
I don't mean
definitely
in the sense
emotional.
of like he's soft,
And
like whatever.
and I just don't
I
like.
just mean in general.
And I just don't like how the entire culture, like you had like his dad coming to his defense. You had Baby coming to his defense.
Does that
you
not
had,
show you though?
You had like all of his like little like Drake lemmings that were like all
Right.
coming to his defense. The one thing that I did like was like Crooked Eye. I don't know if you guys saw Crooked Eye's response to it, where he sided with Buttons.
Of course he's going to, though.
Right,
I
but
think
he was just
before
he was just basically like he was explaining like like Joe Buttons is not a failure. How could he be a failure?
That's my
and the
point.
thing is that like if artists like Drake can tune in and listen to Joe Budden's take on your album and get emotionally cheesed to write a response that he wrote.
That's but
Yeah,
every
If
yeah.
Budden wasn't a guy
Yeah.
that you explained,
Yeah,
you just
yeah.
contradicted yourself by
100%.
taking the time and giving the
Okay.
the whole thing.
But
Like
they also have,
the whole-
but they also have an issue from before. So you could say
Regardless.
he had an issue.
That's regardless.
What do you mean? That's regardless. Hold on.
No, I'm gonna say it's regardless. It's regardless to my point to say that, like, for his take to say that you're nobody and you're a failed rapper and you're a failed person. Don't look at this guy.
I don't
You
see that
took
as
the time.
regardless.
You took the time to like take to get upset over his take on
A
your
man
album.
said shit about you before. You squashed it. Then he thought everything was cool. Then he talked shit about.
But he didn't talk shit about him.
He
No, I don't
feels
think
he
he
did though.
He didn't talk.
That's what I'm
he
saying.
That's the
because
point.
That's what Gus's point
Okay,
is.
That's the
Hey,
point. He
look,
didn't talk
That's
shit.
what I was trying to say. Because he disagrees with him or doesn't like the album, it's automatically he's hating on you, whatever.
Yeah.
And did Drake take it personally? Of course he did take
Yeah,
it personally.
that's the
Should he take it
problem.
personal? Probably not. However, the one thing I will say, listening to what Joe Budden said without reading it verbatim, it wasn't like I just don't dislike it. It was like, it was shots and it
Not
it-
really.
there was a personal overtone,
I didn't think
especially.
so. I didn't think so. And even the co-hosts and stuff, they were all talking about it. Some of them were agreeing with it, some were disagreeing with certain things. It was just a man's opinion at the end of the day, but his opinion is so valid. Like back to Guts' point.
Make songs your fucking age. Stop fucking hanging out with SZA and those guys. That's not.
Yeah, but
that's not
listen,
positive. I'm just
yeah,
saying.
come on, Joe Budden.
not
That's how
per-
Joe Budden talks.
I'm just saying, bro. That's
Like
not
Joe- like-
person. That's not person. To who you're hanging out with, that's not personal. Who you're making songs, that's not. I'm just saying.
I'm saying he did.
I kind of see where you're coming
He
from.
did do
just
the Joe
saying.
Budden thing where he got maybe a little too personal.
And they have a
but
his-
Joe
they
Budden
have a
is a
history.
very like opinionated, arrogant, opinionated
Fine,
person.
but they do have a history, and
You're right,
It didn't
you're
come
right.
off as this. Like I'm saying this. If someone was to talk about you with that
That much passion and hate.
right?
Yeah.
I don't know if whatever, but people, whether it's true or false, one thing is for sure: Drake took it personal. Whether it was
100%.
right, he took it personal.
His dad took
and
it
And you
personal.
can't control the message. You can only control because you can't control how it's received. You can control how you give the message out, right?
But you know what? You know what, guys?
I don't think Buttons. I think Drake got too emotional with that shit because I honestly don't think Buttons like came across like he was punking him or dissing him.
I want you guys to comment below.
Honestly,
If you guys are paying attention still to this point right now, I know we've been going off on a tangent. A lot to do with Drake. But you know what? It's relevant, and I'm glad we had this conversation actually. But I do want to know your opinion down below. Do you think, do you think Budden went a little too far and it was like hate, or do you think it was like he's a journalist? It's Joe Budden. He's kind of an arrogant asshole. He's just saying his opinion, and he talks just like as bad about Drake as he does another person. I think maybe Specs is onto something. But, maybe we're missing something. What do you guys think? Comment below. But let's keep it moving. We're going to jump into the next part of the show here. We do have a couple of topics. We could touch on them real quick.
Yo, can we touch on the Will and Jada?
I think let's touch on that real quick, and then we're going to jump over to song reviews, all right? So talk about it quick.
Can we talk about the Will and Jada?
Yeah, hit us with it.
You guys have been following the Will and Jada?
It's hard to see what's real news and fake news.
Specs, you know about the Will and Jada situation? Not too much?
You seen the memes, bro?
So
It's getting wild.
recently, I guess Jada revealed that they've been separated since 2016. Right? And she was shocked about when he went on stage referring to her as his wife by saying, "Keep my wife's name out of your fucking mouth," right? And like, I guess they haven't talked like that since 2016. And, I guess, obviously they're, portraying a lifestyle that's not existent, right? Like
That's what I was
the
gonna say.
thing.
Like, in the public eye, they're portraying they're still together.
Right? But it's like, do you have a whole new sympathy now for Will Smith from the situation? Because he took licks from that whole situation with Chris Rock.
He was wrong.
I know he was wrong, but do you have a level of like sympathy for the fact that like he's in this situation with Jada because it seems like Jada keeps finding ways to like belittle this guy.
What? Yeah, but she's just trying to be relevant again.
Because now she's like, yeah. So here's now added to the layer. She's been going now on this like, poor me, I'm Jada tour, more or less, going on all these different podcasts and interviews and shit. She came out and said that Tupac proposed to her at Rikers.
It is her soulmate.
And her soulmate and blah, blah, blah. Came out and said that shit.
It's getting wild out here, man. It's getting wild out here.
Right?
All I'm saying is I'm going to say two things about this whole thing.
See,
one,
like
Jade is for the streets. Okay, we got to say that first, and then two.
Yo, shout out to Jada for the streets, yo.
Okay, for the streets. Seen her with Fat Joe and everything, all types of shit. But what I'm saying is, Will Smith though, like man, one of my favorite actors. Like it's the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Like it's Will Smith, right? Yo, this guy, I've lost so much respect for him over this last little bit. Like, even for him to snap and smack Chris Rock, I didn't like that. I thought that was like whack. And like, bro, this guy should be long over Jada. I get it. It's the your baby mom's your wife. You're this, you're that. Love your life, whatever. But like, bro, you're Will Smith. You're like that sprung up over a chick like that. Like, it makes no sense. Like, how can you be that weak-minded, weak-hearted? Like, as a man, like, now look at, like, the example he set for his kids. Like, he has sons, right?
Well,
like,
his family's all messed up.
Exactly.
That whole family's messed up.
Right.
That whole family's messed up.
Yeah.
But
that's
I'm not gonna blame only Will Smith on that.
That's my point. No, but, like, as a guy, as a man, you've got to be in control of your own situation. And I feel like he was in control of that. He could have not been involved in that. Why was he even sitting with her at the thing?
Because we talked about before. They still, she might.
Yeah,
she
they're
might
putting.
be shocked that
That's
he said it
for that.
He might be shocked that he said it in the public sphere, but they still present publicly as thing. Because if she didn't, why is it coming out now that they're separated for all time and living separate?
You look at the history of like how this woman.
Can I say one thing? That's what I want to say. I want to get to that too. Like exactly. Saying about what you're saying, I feel sympathy for Will Smith, and not because of the slap. He was wrong for the slap. But think about this. What were you to say? What this is coming out now because she has a book to promote and put out.
Exactly.
When the news about Augustus or whatever,
her
cheating,
August,
it was. Correct me if I'm wrong. It was like the first 3 to 5 episodes of her Red Table. So again,
and she brought on Will Smith.
So
yeah, and he cried on camera.
So this is like at the man's expense and your family, your
entertainment.
The world's entertainment to sell books or to get subscriptions for your podcast
or anything. Yeah,
you're selling, airing out your laundry, dragging this man through the mud. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, listen, I don't agree with what he did, but remember one thing. That joke was just one joke that Will had heard for years about when that you know what I'm saying? She's playing you dealing with this guy's half your age, sleeping in your house, slamming your gal guy. Like, he was hearing this already, bro, right? And I mean, he snapped, whatever. I'm not condoning it, I'm just saying. I feel a little more sympathy for him knowing all this because she's just like, anything that she can do to promote herself and sell it business-wise, she'll do it to drag his name to the mud. And the worst part, if you ask me, is, isn't she a movie star from Time? She should have money already. It's like to do this for money is terrible, bro.
She don't have Will money, I don't think.
Okay, but she ain't poor, bro. To have to air out your business and drag this man to the mud just to get money is I don't know.
It's a
ghoulish.
classic example of how toxic women are in this society. Let's just fucking call a spade a spade. There are some toxic fucking bitches that roam the streets. And the fact of the matter is that when they clinch on to, we've all dealt with toxic bitches in our life. You know what I'm saying? I think we can all slap the table for dealing with at least one toxic bitch in our life. And the fact of the matter is that unfortunately, Will Smith impregnated this girl, has a family with her, and invested his life and emotionally, financially, everything like that.
I'm gonna sum up my taking this. Sorry to cut you off there, brother Guts. I would say this, yo. In the words of 50 Cent, enough is enough. Free Will Smith.
Straight, but the thing is that Will Smith has to free himself.
That was my point. Right,
you know what I mean? And who knows? Maybe it's a bigger thing where it's maybe Will Smith has done some fucked up shit where it's like this is like his payback or his whatever.
I think he's just got small dick syndrome.
Can I ask a question?
Like, how are you
Pause,
not fucking some
bro.
new bitches though?
Yeah, it's
like,
a
no,
pause.
but no, but like,
I don't even want to know.
bro. But I'm saying like he's got to be insecure about something because otherwise he would be out of that. Like,
Jada broke him down, bro.
that's what I'm saying. He's insecure. He's
Yo,
got
that
small
shit
dick
happens,
syndrome.
though.
It's
That
not even
shit-
about his dick. I'm saying he's got small dick syndrome. Like, you know, like if you got a small dick, you got no confidence. Like that's what they say,
I feel you.
right? That's what I'm saying.
Not to
Come
air your
closer.
situation, but you're a married man, right?
Yeah.
Yo, specs.
Not to air,
Like
right?
you.
The question is, if you know you couldn't see yourself, for instance, like fighting, maybe not like all the stuff in the thing, but like you want to keep your family together or keep your marriage together.
If my
maybe
girl
not
was
do all
ever
this,
with
but,
any
like,
other man, like
Yes,
for example,
yeah.
even like if I caught her like talking to another man,
Yes.
like I'm not gonna sit there and try to convince her otherwise that like, oh, you should love me and not him.
understand that,
Like
yeah.
at the end of the day, people fall in love and they fall out of love,
Mm-hmm,
right? And not everybody's meant for everybody. And sometimes you're in a relationship and it doesn't work out. Even if you have kids, you don't have kids, you're married, you're not married.
Exactly. I'm not talking about the marriage.
But,
I'm talking about the kids.
I know, and I'm just saying, like,
your
like
feelings.
straight up, like, you could have kids with a woman and then just be friends, or I mean, maybe shit, whatever happens the next day. Like, you don't know, right? Like, and actually having a kid with somebody could make or break your relationship. Like, you could have a kid with, it's your first kid with them, and all of a sudden your relationship goes to shit. But it doesn't mean that you're a bad person necessarily. It just means it didn't work out. You guys didn't work out as
But
co-parents.
for me, what I'm saying is this: it's less about the it's more about the vows and less about the kids, right? Because kids can happen.
Yeah.
Vows are one thing. You stand up in front and say, you want to be with this person. That's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. About the marriage.
Yo, the problem is certain situations, like in terms of that level,
I was just about to say that.
they're like motherfucking one night stands that got out of hand. And like a one night stand that lasted 20 years. You know what I'm saying? That shouldn't have, it got out of hand. It was redundant. It shouldn't have kept, you know what I'm saying? I'm not speaking on them. I'm just saying the situations that are like that and people don't know that is, they don't know what it's, sorry, they don't know
kids
it's
are
like
just
that until they know
relationships.
it's like that is what I'm trying to say. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but
I
sometimes.
myself have been there, so I understand this shit.
Yeah, sometimes though,
Yeah.
like sometimes it's like you could be in love with a girl.
Good point.
Yeah, that's a good point. But I mean, you could just generally just be in love with a girl and then shit happens. Like,
Yeah.
shit happens. Circumstances happen. We can't, we don't really understand or know how fate happens. You might think, oh, I'm going to be with this person for the rest of my life, and then fucking you meet somebody else, or somebody else comes in their life and fucking changes that course. Who knows, right? And you might have intended that, and then shit happens. Whatever. But
it all goes down to my bad to cut you
No,
again.
go
I keep
ahead.
cutting
Yo,
you off.
it's-
But yo,
it's all
it's
good, bro.
It's a thing where
It's all good.
I was just
Remember that,
I was just having a conversation.
listen.
No, I was having a conversation this weekend actually, and it's a thing. Some sense got boxed into my head. It's in relation to what we're saying. It's about it's like moving with intent. You know what I'm saying? It's like
Right.
if you're gonna move a certain way, you can't really expect certain results if you're not. You know what I'm saying? If your intent isn't in how you're moving, if it doesn't match. You know what I'm saying? Not a lot of people get that because I didn't really get it until I actually got it. So it's like, you know what I mean? I'm not really.
But it's
I don't
just,
know.
I don't know, man. It's like, it makes you think, though, like going back to the Will Smith thing. It's like,
That's
it
what
makes
I'm
you
talking
think, it just,
I was talking about that.
yeah, I know. But I'm just saying, like, it makes you think why what is her purpose to do all this shit? Like, for like the amount of time that she's done it, right? Like,
Money.
I guess.
I mean, she's doing it one time for the podcast, one time for the book. Money.
so.
I think she gets off on it. I think she likes the fact that he's a fucking bitch.
Fame.
Bro, some people just fucking.
honestly
yeah,
what I
because
think,
toxic bitches do that shit.
That's what I'm saying. That's actually what I think. And he's the simp that's letting her do this shit. But at the same time, Will Smith got his in too.
So that,
Like
yeah.
he was
Yeah,
bodying chicks too,
yeah.
and there was a whole thing about
but
that.
yeah, and that's the thing where it's like there's a double standard. That's the first thing, and the second thing is that going back to your point, Specs, when you said, "Oh, how you kind of feel sorry for him," I kind of feel sorry for him in some ways, but I kind of don't feel sorry
I
for him
agree.
in other ways
And I
because
agree
it's
with
like,
Barker too, yeah.
how are we going to endorse this kind of lifestyle as a person to say like, "Yo, you're okay being a fucking simp," and the fact that this girl smashed your son's friend,
Bro, and on top of all this, you're Will Smith.
and
You're
and the
I Am
man-
Legend,
and the man,
bro.
And the man made a fucking
You're
song
Men in
about
Black,
it,
bro.
Like, come on.
You're Independence Day.
the girls- the
you
girl-
saved
she's-
the world.
I totally agree.
The girl went ahead and fucking confirmed what everybody's been saying, that like she loved off a fucking dead rapper, and that's her true
all
love.
this.
Bro, that's what I'm saying. And you're Will Smith. You're fucking.
And how- and like-
nah, 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 nah,
All
nah,
I'm gonna
nah.
say
Like,
is
come
this.
on,
You're
bro.
allowing this
all I'm
shit to
gonna-
go down.
Now understand this.
Get out of
Fucking
hand.
toxic
Now
bitches,
understand
bro.
this. Hold on.
Big
Now-
Willie.
Wait.
Big Willie.
Hey, yo,
She's
you know what?
still toxic.
Yo,
She's still
fuck those
toxic.
bitches.
Fuck a toxic bitch.
Fuck those toxic bitches.
Yo, free Will Smith.
Yo,
Free Will Smith.
Like you
Free
said,
Will Smith.
Will has to
but
free
yo, Will
himself.
Smith's gotta free his fucking self,
Here's-
man.
Okay, but
here's
still
the thing.
free
Come
him.
on, man.
It's
Still free him.
complicated because don't you think?
It's not complicated. It's
hold
same
on,
Facebook.
hold on.
Can't
hold
change your
on.
relationship
Listen.
status.
Hold on, man.
Okay.
Your relationship status is your relationship status, but your feeling is your feeling. And even when a
complicated.
girl's done wrong to you, sometimes you still have love for them.
Sure.
Yeah.
Now this could be it.
From
I'm not-
over- from
I'm
over-
not
from
saying-
over
I
this,
ain't-
so-
This is excessive.
I ain't saying I ain't saying I would do it, and I'm not saying he's right for doing it. But you're telling me he's the first man on the.
But you're talking like you're a man that's got the experience, bro. Like, what's going on?
I'm not
You
married,
wanna-
bro.
You
Nigga,
want
who
to
got
talk to us?
kids?
You want to
That's
talk
what
to
I'm
us?
saying.
man has
The
been
point I'm
on
trying
a
to say is
fuckery
that
ting.
the point I'm trying to say
I'm
is that like you
Every
exactly
single
like yo,
man.
you can't
Hollywood, can you say that you've been in a fuckery
just
ting?
because her
that makes
feelings
you like
change-
question
Yo,
your
listen.
manhood?
Facts.
Yo,
Yo,
haven't you ever been in
listen.
a fuckery ting that make you question your manhood?
To whom it may concern, yo.
Just saying,
You know what I'm
bro.
saying?
Listen,
Right.
listen.
Yo, I want to say one thing.
Sure.
I feel this whole situation with Jada is she's got some serious shit on Will.
Yeah.
Like,
Big shout out to Hollywood in the back, by the way. We didn't shout him out in the intro.
Hollywood.
Go.
Hollywood shit,
Sorry.
man.
I think that's what it comes down to. Like Will is Will Smith, like he said. I mean, he's a man like everybody.
I Am Legend.
But he wants Jada.
But no.
Oh, he wanted her.
I don't think it's that.
Right.
I think he's
Well-
afraid of the shit that she's got on his
See,
Right.
and this is the whole thing where
Small dick.
Hold on.
Let's spin this back though. Let's spin it back.
Let's spin it
though.
back. Let's spin it back.
go back.
When they first got together, he's Will Smith still. He's
Yeah.
not everything he was now, but he was still Will Smith. He got with Jada. He could have had anybody else.
So let's end up.
Why did he choose the Jada?
So let's end this topic on
He
like
wanted
the,
her.
the tinfoil theory.
Keep
Back to
your
what you were
heart
saying,
full.
Dan.
Throw the tinfoil hat on.
Let's throw the tinfoil hat on.
We
right
calling
now.
this segment
And
the tinfoil hat
tinfoil
segment.
hat, right? Like, you know, I don't want our podcast to get canceled and we talk too much about this shit. But what I'm saying is, right? Like you said,
Yo,
Hollywood.
listen.
Maybe there's some shit where it's like some sort of public sacrifice, some public shaming of
Little
some
kids,
sort.
little
Where
kids.
it's like, Will Smith maybe did some shit, and this is the way that he has to like own up to what he like.
Well, Jada likes him young, apparently, and maybe,
And so
maybe
does Will.
so does Will. You know
And
what
so
I'm
does
saying?
Will. And you got to remember what they're affiliated in. They're affiliated in all that Scientology
Yeah,
bullshit.
bro.
And that shit. How many times have you heard? How many times have you heard like people that trying to escape Scientology, escape the lifestyle, where there's certain rules and regulations of how they like end relationships or be in relationships or how like they like operate in their life. Like it's weird shit with Scientology. And like people like been trying to escape the lifestyle. So who knows, this could be some public ritual type of shit that Will has to endure because he fucked up. Remember, he fucked up. He slapped Chris Rock. He's done some fucked up shit. Who knows? And like you said, they like them young. So
And I think that whole Chris Rock thing was something he had to do too. Public shaming situation.
it was a public shaming because the way she looked at him and gave him the kind of, and he's like, and he kind of
That
like
too.
hung his head in.
Right.
It's like he hung his head in a sense like, fuck, I gotta go do this shit now.
Look
Yo,
at
the
it
nigga
again.
was laughing.
He
though.
laughed, and then he
The nigga
looked
was
at her
laughing.
reaction, and her reaction was
And he
serious.
felt-
So
yo,
going back to how we started.
Nigga
this,
was laughing and he felt like, fuck, I'm laughing. I'm a piece of shit. I gotta go do something or else it's gonna go. So he went up and boxed him.
I think it was,
That's what
I
happened,
think
bro.
he was laughing, and then he looked at Jada, and Jada's like, "You gotta go do this shit."
something like
The
that,
look
right?
that she gave him must have been like, fucking.
Well, she wasn't like, but he. So,
Yo, bro, I wasn't even gonna speak on this, but fuck,
Think
y'all
about it.
brought out the motherfucking. So here what? I agree with Brother Hollywood because yo, I feel like he was laughing at first and shit, and then he looked over and he saw the look. He must have felt the beam. You know what I'm saying? The beam. You know,
It's like, you know what you gotta do.
It's a thing where he felt the beam. You know what I'm saying? He felt like he violated his chick, so his chick's looking at him like, yeah, you're laughing. So he fucking felt he had to do something. Mind you, did he take it the wrong way? Of course he went too fucking far. It's Big Willie style,
I
bro.
think that was all planned. Bro.
Hold on. Think
It
about
was
this.
all
though.
planned.
Okay,
But yo,
but
dog, and then all the backlash he got from it, and then
Look what you just said.
Yeah.
Look what you just said.
Yeah.
Listen, Hollywood industry is a fucked up place.
Yeah,
They
facts.
make you do some stupid, fucked up shit, and if
Kanye West.
Diddy.
if you break some rules or you do some stuff, they publicly shame and humiliate your ass.
Okay.
And that's why certain levels of fame come with higher levels of
That's
fuckery.
what happens when you sell your soul. And those guys have sold their soul to Scientology from time.
Listen,
let's
put your
end
tinfoil
that because
hat
we don't
on.
wanna end.
Take your
Take it
tinfoil
off.
hat. I
We
tip
don't-
my
we-
tinfoil
you know,
hat to y'all that
Shout
paid
out to the
attention.
tinfoil segment. Shout out to the tinfoil segment.
That's a new segment.
Yeah, it's a new segment.
Brand new
we
one.
might as well do just like a 1, 2. Just touch on it like a little sprinkle. Just a little.
Yeah,
you know,
in and out though.
We,
in and
we
out
love
though.
the podcast.
Yeah,
we
that's
don't
right.
want to.
We don't want to shut it
Flags.
down.
We don't want
That's
flags.
right. That's
We don't
right.
want
Will
flags.
Smith, shout out though. Do better though.
Yeah, do
All right,
better, straight.
and
Do
we
better.
rolling, and we rolling. And honestly, guys, man, I had some fun with this. Some funny shit. We had some good little laughs here, and some interesting stuff, especially with Toronto's finest, right? The Golden Child, Mr. Drake. But it's time to shout out. The,
Let's get into some Toronto
underground
finest.
cast.
Let's
Yeah,
get into
let's
Toronto finest
let's
right
get into
now.
some real Toronto hip hop.
Favorite segment, yo. You know what it is, yo. It's the review segment.
That's right.
That's
the
right,
reviews.
you know.
And how do we do that shit? Explain it to them one time for them. How
Yo,
do we review?
you send the track, we listen to it. We try to give it an honest opinion. We try to, listen to the beat, cadence, style, all that shit. We honestly rate it out of 5, each one of us. Give you a fair rating. You take it in as constructive criticism. That's our whole point. That's the whole idea of the show. Artists, make sure you send your shit in.
Yeah.
Make sure that, you tag somebody, tag an artist. We support that shit. And like I said, don't do a Drake. Don't do a Drake if say we criticize and give you a lower marker that you think you deserve or whatever.
Don't deserve.
But,
it's not personal. Nothing
No, it's just
personal.
our opinion. We ain't,
And on that note, so the way we do this too, guys, is we listen to one hook, one verse, we take it in, we give our feedback like Guts said. We've been getting, shout out to all the artists that actually have been submitting tracks. We've been
Shout out to
getting
artists, yo.
a lot of good music, a lot of good music hitting the boards these days. I got one to start us off. I got Details, Millionaire. Let's get into it.
Details, man.
You know who
The
it is.
song's called Millionaire.
It's the style.
Artist is Details.
Artist named Details.
Limousine riding, jet flying, woo! Rolex wearing, kiss stealing, wheeling dealing, son of a gun, woo! And I'm having trouble holding these alligators down. I mean, man, look, I got a lot of living to do before I die. You know what my man 50 said? Yeah, and I ain't even being funny, really ain't a lot of money. Now the hustle's in my bones like I'm Jones in his 20s. I mean, buddy, you will never take it from me. Finally found a couple bucks to fill the hunger in my tummy. Now it's lovely me, I'm off to the races. Scarf at my pace. It's been a long road, got lost, but I'm gracious. I squashed all the hate, new process of patience. Raised in the street life, crossed all the pavement. But everybody knows I'm good. Yeah, everybody sees I'm on that come up, and everybody knows I'm good. You find it out the hard way if you wanna be a millionaire. Like, yeah, that's me. Ballin' in Ferrari, says she's how it's gonna be.
All right, so that's a verse and a hook right there. We'll get Specs to start it off. So swing it to the left.
All right. It sounds like a fun track to me. I mean, he got me. I'm a wrestling fan. Nice Ric Flair reference at the start of it. Or made reference or quoted Ric Flair as like one of his famous takes, whatever. Anyways, for me, like I said, fun track. Not something that I would, necessarily bump like that, but it wasn't trash. It sounded all right, so I'll give it a 3.
All right, Gutsy Guts.
I thought it was definitely a fun track. I liked the beat. I liked how the beat started and the Ric Flair reference for sure. Beat got me. I was really the flow was kind of just simple, kind of on that context of being fun and he kind of stuck with that subject. The hook, I thought the verse was a lot better. I thought the hook would have caught me a little more. But I think, I wasn't really, he kind of lost me a little bit at the hook. But overall, I thought it was a pretty dope track. It was a feel-good track. We'll give it a 3. We'll give it a 3 as well.
All right, fuck. So here what? I'm going to say first things first. The song's not trash, but it's just not my cup of tea. Like, it's not something I'm going to cue into my streaming platform and be like, I'm going to listen to this today. You know what I'm saying? But it's not trash, though. You know what I'm saying? It's feel-good music, but sometimes I'm just not always in that uppity mood. You know what I'm saying? But I'm going to give it a give it a 2.5 or 3.
Oh, yeah.
2.5. I'm gonna give it. I'm be honest. You know what I'm saying.
I like that. I like that. I like that. You know, the reason why I like that is because I actually agree with you. I was gonna give it a 2.5 as well. Because I mean, at the end of the day, a 2.5 is good. Right? It's 50%. Like you got the pass. But I don't want to give it a 3 because I feel like 3s are a little bit stronger. You know what I mean? And I felt like the song was a little bit weak to me. Like honestly, like, and I'm not no diss because I agree with you. It's not, the track isn't trash. For sure. It's not for me. It kind of gave me a bit of a Classified vibe a little bit, which is, you know, Canadian white boy kind of vibe, you know, with nothing wrong with that. You're right. Like, I mean, it's like you said, kind of like a party track, right? Yeah, I could see some white cats listening to that at the cottage, drinking some White Claws and shit. But
this guy said White Claws.
Yeah, you know, my type of people, right? No.
Yo, I'm dead.
White Claws?
Drinking the Coors Light.
White Claws
eh?
not bad actually.
Drinking the Coors Light and the Bud Light.
You know, maybe not the Bud Light, but you know, yeah, like Coors Lights for sure. But I think it was decent but not great. I give it a 2.5.
Question.
Yeah.
Is 50% really a pass? Just think about that amongst yourselves. I don't know.
I actually asked that question on my Facebook. I said, if an artist drops an album and it's a 4 out of 5, is that a good album or is it a classic? Is it a classic album or is it a
quick answer? It's a very good album. Classic, maybe not.
That's individually. That's an individual's opinion.
Exactly. It's a very good album because if it's rated 4 out of 5.
But if it's generally, if it's a 4 out of 5, is it a classic?
I mean,
it could be classic to some
very
people.
well be
I don't see why not.
to me.
How about this?
Hollywood? 4 out of 5 is a classic?
No, I mean, depends on, again, a lot of things.
Individually,
here's my question,
It depends on the
quick
person's
question.
taste.
But
Yes.
Let me say one thing though. Have we ever questioned a 5 out of 5 album?
No.
There it is. That's a classic.
But then again, unless.
But there's been good 4 out of 5 albums.
Unless
Who's rating
That's
it?
kind of what I'm
Here's my
saying.
question: Who's
That's
rating
right.
it?
Who's rating it?
Are you rating it 4 out of 5, and then is it a classic to you, or somebody else rating it 4 out of 5?
But so,
That's
have you
fine.
have you ever heard a 5 mic album that you didn't really like though? That didn't
Who rated
really-
it?
Just say the source. You know what I'm saying?
I
Say, have you ever heard a 5 mic album that you like? That you like? How the fuck did this get 5 mics?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I didn't know the
Cooking
source
Mad
was rating
City.
albums.
And that's why I say
I'm sorry, I didn't like that.
That's why.
That's why like the 4 makes sense
how
because
everybody
a 4,
else likes
somebody
it.
might give it a 4, but to you it's a 5.
I kind of stopped messing with the
saying?
source after the
And that's
Benzino
why I'm
business.
saying it's all about
I thought they were
individual
biased. I
taste.
thought they were biased.
100%.
Personally.
That's what I'm trying to say. You know what I'm saying?
XXL was more.
Some people think G Unit's better than Dipset. Some people think Dipset's
Right.
better than
More unbiased.
Rockefeller. Some people think fucking Bone Thugs is better than Crucial
But yeah, so
Conflict.
but it's
which
50%
they
of
are,
pass.
though.
I'm just saying because
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, 100%.
I don't know.
100%, 50%, 75%.
50 Cent.
For instance, it's 2.5 out of.
All right, yo. Next track. Conjuring.
Shout out Joey Violin. Big up Joey Violin.
Third Scar. Donny Quest.
Moving bricks, better build a mansion. Don't fuck around, I'm a man of action. Broke the wheels, now you lost attraction. Shit gets real when the party's stacking. Give me the racks and I'll kill in reverse. How many bodies can I fit in this hearse? Keep picking the scabs and making it worse. You fuck with the dead, now you live with a curse. Moving bricks, better build a mansion. Don't fuck around, I'm a man of action. Broke the wheels, now you lost attraction. Shit gets real when the party's stacking. Give me the racks and I'll kill in reverse. How many bodies can I fit in this hearse? Keep picking the scabs and making it worse. You fuck with the dead, now you live with a curse.
All right, let's go right over to gut.
I'm starting this one?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. Yeah. The beat at first kind of caught me off guard a little bit. I don't know if it caught you guys off guard a little.
A little bit.
Yeah, it caught me off guard a little bit. I kind of like, yeah. I don't know.
It seemed like it was off, rhythm.
A little bit.
Off timing.
A little off timing.
And then as you started rapping on it, I
Yeah.
started
That's
catching the
why I
vibe.
say it kind of caught me. It kind of took a little bit for me to catch it or whatever. When I caught it a little, that's like, okay. Like that you know, when I was kind of tuned in, but it took a while for it to like
Get there,
whatever. The beat was okay. It's dark. I like that shit, the dark kind of, you know, types of tracks or beats, whatever. His flow cadence was all right. Again, it took a while for me to kind of warm up to like what he was trying to do, whatever. I thought the track was all right. I thought it wasn't anything, again, like the first track. Not something I could say that I would necessarily, you know, bump in the whip or like, you know, kind of like say like, yo, I gotta peep that track kind of thing. And it's not to say it's a shit track. It's just you know, I want to hear other things that, you know, whatever, like some other tracks that he's doing with that. I'm gonna give it a 3. I'm gonna give it a 3. I'll give it a 3 bass, whatever.
First things first, shout out Joey Violin again, you know what I'm saying? But he's a dope producer, you know what I'm saying? I have different, he has different sounds and shit. But as far as the song goes, I like the beat is dark, you know what I'm saying? But like, it's not my kind of dark. You know what I'm saying? Like the song, but like, the dude that rapped on it did his thing. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna give it, I'm just gonna sum it up to a 3. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna give it a 3. It's reasonable.
Very reasonable. I agree. Looks like I'm just copying specs tonight because I was thinking 3 the whole time because I think it was like slightly better than the last one in terms of it's more in my range of songs that I like. Like I like the darker shit. I like the sample. I'm a sucker for samples. I'm a sucker for old school beats. The beat almost had me though, but it was like totally what you said, like 100% what Gut said there. Like I was like trying to get on the rhythm, and then I finally got on the rhythm, and I was like, okay. And then I'm like listening to what he's saying at the same time. I'm like, okay, he's saying some shit. He's got some good wordplay. He's kind of got that gritty voice, that tone, that cadence, which, you know, to me, it's like not enough charisma in it. It's too dark, and like you're not Immortal Technique dark.
I feel like if he would emphasize certain words, bro, and put more, just
a little bit extra, and I think he would have had me just sold. I would have kind of
just going back to the point of it. Like I said, it took a while, at least from jump, to kind of get on board with what he's trying to do.
Yeah.
My opinion.
Yeah, but overall, I liked it, and I'll give it a 3 because I think a 3 is strong, you know. And anything above that, I try not to give 5s either, so I mean, like, but 3's good.
Specs.
Yo, I'm laughing over here when you're talking, namesake, because it's like, yo, you can't turn off body language.
What?
Before, you know... Yeah, I could see how Specs feels about the track before you even talk. I just needed it. Just on him. But anyways, my rating is gonna show personality, right? Yeah. I am not really a dark individual. I got a saw chain on, but I'm like, I like to laugh and shit like that, whatever. And while I do rate both songs similar, I rate the other song a little bit better than this one because I'm not a darker person, right? Like whatever. Again, the not dissing the beat or whatever. I agree with what said. Took a little while to start up. I think he could have put a little more emphasis. I think his voice sounds like Trey the Truth, right? Not the way he raps, but his voice sounds like Trey the Truth. Like you can't control your voice, right? Like Shine sounded like Biggie in voice, not the way he rapped. His voice sounded like him, if you ask me. But anyways, I give it a 2.5.
Oh yeah.
Is similar to the other track in how good it was, but I would prefer the other track over this one. So 2.5.
I got that track, the Hiroshima track.
All right, let's get on to that next one. We got Maloney.
Shout out Maloney.
Hiroshima. Shout out to Maloney. Shout out to everybody so far. You know what I mean? Joey Violin. Shout out to you.
Shout out to Joey Violin. I'll listen to something else, but I looked at this verse.
Wait till y'all hear this shit.
These motherfuckers soft. I got them acting like rain on a waterproof coat. How they running off. Skip the hustle talk. You get ripped off on the reg, dog. I was cut from another cloth. It's like the first time I ever titty fucked a broad. No question, you're the biggest bird chest I've come across. I ain't worried about you even being tough at all. Your threats are dirt on my shoulders, I just brush it off. I'm hard-headed as the juggernaut running spots. Rip your motherfucking head off like a muffin top. You busting off a lot of gun bars, but nothing pops. Terry Fox charities, the only time you run a block. I fuck your moms to become your pops, then I beat the shit out my stepson's ass while his mother watched. I stay above the law, so motherfuck the cops. I snuff the officer the second that the cuffs are off. Keep it moving, come on. Now one time to the beat. Keep it moving, come on. Behind bars, baby. Keep it moving, come on. ML to the NY, moving, you gone. MLNY, moving, you gone. The beat goes on and 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 on. Breaking records here, dropping the bomb. Come on.
Specs, what's going on?
I fuck with it still. I'm just high as shit. I fuck with it though. Shout out Maloney, you know what I'm saying? That the beat slaps, you know what I'm saying? There's some headbanging shit. It's not too grimy hoodie on, you know what I'm saying? I'm not no wanna go and fucking punch a nigga in the face for looking at me sideways and shit, listening to it. I'm gonna bop my head because it's some real hip hop shit though. You know what I'm saying? And that line about beating up step kids and shit is pretty funny. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I'm gonna give it a 3.5, 4. You know what I'm saying? I'll call it a 4.
Check this out.
4?
4 is reasonable.
Nice. I like it. I like the track. I thought it was cool. I like the beat right away. Maloney's always sick. I always like hearing Maloney rap because he's very versatile. He's got a lot of different styles. He knows how to put together a verse. He's very, I would say, he's like hip hop smart. Like he's a hip hop intellectual, if you will, which I like about him. And I think that came across in this track because I think like between his wordplay and stuff, like I think his pen game on it was really good. I thought it was funny. It was good. It was grimy. It wasn't like too commercial. It's kind of hip hop I honestly like, you know? So I like his cadence, like the flow. I mean, honestly, I'm gonna have to go with a 4.
Check this out.
Yeah, like I was gonna give it a 3.5, but like as I'm sitting here talking about it, I'm like, I can't really. There's not too much I didn't like about it. I would say overall though, like production, and like I'm a sucker for that. Is like the overall production wasn't like 5, you know what I mean? But it was like it was nice. It was good. I would listen to it again. I would listen to whatever Maloney sends in because it's always interesting. You never know what the fuck you're gonna get with the Maloney track, which is dope.
Sure.
He's actually a dope producer too.
Yeah.
Did he produce that?
Yeah.
Dope dude, actually. Yo, make sure you guys go check out Maloney, by the way. Yeah. He's got a lot going on. Breaking records. He's got like podcasts. He's got the
he's hosts the 6 Degrees Radio.
Yeah, man. Honestly, the guy's been doing a lot for the local scene for a very long time.
He's
so
very indulged with the culture.
Definitely got to give that guy his props.
Maloney,
MLNY. Go check him out.
Yeah. Specs.
Listen, man. He almost got a 5. I didn't hear the production issues. He almost got a 5. You know why I didn't get it from a 5? I didn't like the hook.
I like the hook. I thought it was good performance hook too.
Listen, performance hook. Here's the thing. For being short and sweet, for like the one verse, get into it and get out, and he had me laughing, and like, you know, I like the verse and everything. I like the energy on it, all that stuff. I would have loved the hook with the same energy as the verse. It was just like, you were like, you know, I don't know, a little more, not aggressive, like I'll kill you or something like that, just a little more wordplay and more just like, than a rah hook for me, right? But that was it. Besides that, I like the beat. I like, you know, it's almost done. We almost played the whole thing with like 5 seconds left to it. So for that reason, I'm giving it a 4.5. Shout out to Maloney.
Check this out.
That's a good
All right, so.
Pound sent me a tune.
Okay. So.
Guts can't review it?
Oh shit! I thought you. Fuck, bro.
He's been dissing all show.
Right,
write in the comment section if you think that Dre Specs has been dissing me all show.
And subscribe too if you really notice it.
If you notice it, just comment on that shit. Yeah. Been taking pure licks today. Yeah. Anyways, I'm gonna agree with Specs. I'm gonna agree with Specs when he says he almost got a 5, but I'm going on the angle of the beat. I thought the beat was good, but it wasn't like, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
it was one of those tracks.
It's good.
It was one of those tracks where we talked about this, where sometimes a rapper they can rap on a beat and make it sound better.
Did he?
Or a beat, yeah, that's exactly why, right? Or a beat can carry a rapper's semi good lyrics, right? Mm-hmm. But this was, I think, the opposite. I think like his lyrics, I think, was better than the beat. In my opinion,
it didn't uplift the beat, though.
Right?
It didn't uplift the beat.
No, it did uplift the beat. That's why he got a 4.5. But it's not a 5. He would have got a 5
because the beat didn't carry.
The beat didn't.
If the beat would have been better than he was.
It's not that I didn't like the
beat. Didn't hold his own.
It's not like I didn't like the beat. I liked the beat, but I thought with the kind of bars that he was going with, I thought the beat could have been. It fit. Yes, it fit because whatever. He's a versatile rapper where it's like, you know, it was just bars and punches.
But like you said, he made it fit.
He made it fit. He made the beat sound better. Like, if I'm an artist and I heard that beat, I wouldn't be like, yo, that's going to be my first pick. You know what I'm saying? It's not, it's like a shit beat.
Yeah. But
it's just not one of those ones where it's like,
preference, sorry.
You know, like, but like he made the beat sound like 10 times better in my opinion, right? He got you hooked, right?
Yeah.
With the flow, the cadence, the punches, you know? I like the hook. I like the hook. And just to kind of piggyback off of what you said, I think like Maloney's a true student to the game. Mm-hmm. He's evolved and he's definitely studies the whole essence and the whole, like he to me, he's done his homework. He knows what he's doing. Mm-hmm. And he's capitalized off the avenues that is presented to him. Mm-hmm. And not only is he capitalizes it, he's like controlling it. So, you know, that's where it's like Maloney, when you look at it, it's like he's a guy that he needs to get like his flowers, right? Like he's in that same culture. He's in that same circle of like, you know, those local artists, like, you know, the J Dons and the, you know, like those type of artists that are like really capitalizing off of those independent markets, right? Like the podcasts and the radio show and the events, live events, and like, you know, like those like market pockets, like he's doing that. And, you know, if you're gonna go back to the hip hop, yo, like to me, I feel like, yo, he just gradually improves his pen game every fucking time. Like it's like, you know, those guys, like sometimes their pen game dwindles from time to time. This guy, to me, I feel like his pen game elevates every time. The punches, he's witty with it. So I'll give it a 4.5 out of 5.
Big numbers there. Big numbers there. Shout out to Maloney. All right, let's keep it moving. Let's keep it rolling. We jumping right into right? What do we got?
I got one from Pop.
One last track.
Saying, we have time on the cameras?
Oh, cameras are good.
Cameras are good?
Yo.
So we got one more.
We got one more track or two more tracks? One more track. All right.
Pound sent me this one. He didn't tell me the song title, so I'm just going to call it Untitled.
No, I just thought we don't really ask Hollywood his opinion.
Oh, shit.
First track, what was it? Do you remember the tracks? First track, what was it?
It's too late to ask now.
Let's just jump into it. Let's just jump into it. All right, last record. Shout out to everyone for tuning in.
Nah, you ain't got to say nothing.
Pound
Say
Bang.
nothing, baby. Say nothing, baby. Yeah. Say nothing, baby. Yeah. Nah, you don't have to say nothing, baby. Come here, let me take your purse that you settling from work. Prep for the dish I serve for you, baby. Yeah, you been on my mind while I'm out here on a grind, but I chose to save some time for you, baby. You see, I poured a glass of wine, hoping that you could unwind just for you by your bubble bath waiting. Candle burning, smell like apple pop bacon. Take your time, baby. No need for talking, keep walking. This is your night, baby. Ice, baby, won't forget that. It's what you like, baby. Back to background, sounding like we move around the house, shaking. Keep that in mind. Why you want tasting? Tracing parts of your body, forever smooth sailing. My blue nose in the water, I'm ready to wave it. A dime splash in the well, wishing for you, baby. I used to like it, I love it, yeah, who I choose, baby.
My love is like a special enemy,
I choose, baby.
on a mind, you, I love her with that sweetness. A strong woman, just a minute to a weakness. The way I touch her is a speechless. You say my love is like a special enemy,
I choose, baby.
on a mind, you, I love her with that sweetness. A strong woman, just a minute to a weakness. The way I touch her leaves her speechless.
Okay. That's on the hook? That is the hook.
But no, but at the start, it was just, I swear, I swear it just started with his verse. Yeah, I swear it just started with his verse.
Whose turn?
All right, that's on me. So, yeah, I mean, the thing is, I'm like a Pound fan. Like, so like when I hear him rapping and like, you know, and I'm used to hearing him rapping, you know, I'm all for it. I was not expecting that.
I'm glad you said that. Good.
I was not expecting that at all. And I thought he did a good job though with it. Like what he was trying to do, I thought it was dope. I think it could have been engineered maybe a little bit better. Like if you're gonna go for that singy auto-tuning thing, I feel like there was just a little bit that should have been added to on the production side. But his delivery was, I would say, A1. I mean, again, not necessarily a track that I like, but he turned it into a track that I actually kind of liked. Like I would probably give it. I'm gonna give it like a 4 because of creativity.
Check this out.
And it's Pound, so I know that he got creative on that, and I thought he did a good job at it. And sometimes stepping out the box is hard and comes out really bad. So I'm gonna give it a 4 on the sake that it's Pound, and I thought he did a good job with it.
I'm gonna give it a 4.5, and the reason I'm giving it a 4.5 is
Check this out.
Before I give you my thing, it's a question. Going back to the Drake and stuff like that, nobody expected a track like that from Pound.
Mm-hmm.
Pound's not this kind of artist.
Right.
Right? Nobody knows to be this kind of artist. So you can't hold it against that he's trying to step out of the box. I think he did a great job too. I think this track sounded great. Maybe production-wise, it could have been a little better. But besides that, what he was doing, right? Like his verse, the hook and everything sounded great to me, right? And it's not something that I would expect from Pound. Pound doesn't spit this kind of tune, right? So it's like it was great to step out of the box, and I wouldn't compare him to something like that. I wouldn't, compare it to like something else he did before. This is just Pound making new music, man. Great job, dog.
Good shit.
Yeah, I thought it was dope. I'm not surprised, and I know that like, yeah, we don't normally hear that kind of stuff with Pound, but he's an MC, he's a rapper, and like I think like the fact that he can do that and step out of that realm and do his thing, I think that shows the growth of who he is as an artist. The one thing I will say, to me, I get it. It is what it is, but like I'm not a huge fan of the industry beats, the industry dubs per se.
Yeah.
Like, I would have loved to hear same content on like more of an original beat, right? But for the beat that he chose to do what he did, it serves its justice, right? Like he definitely, it's not like it was a shit track. Sometimes people get on a track of a popular beat and it sounds like trash, right? So
especially because you're used to that track sounding.
Original. You just want it to be original.
It's like I wanted it more original in that sense, right? So I'll give it that sense. The production, I hear you on the production side. I'm not really mad at that too much. The auto-tune stuff, it's like
I just mean a slight tweak, even like just like some harmonizing layers.
Yeah, the auto-tune stuff, it's like I'm still kind of on the fence when it comes to that sound, to be honest with you. But I mean, for what Pound did, he still killed it. He still crushed it, did his thing. I'm gonna give him a strong 4 with that one. I'm gonna give him a strong 4. I like the track.
That's a good 4.
I just feel
four is a really good
I just
score.
feel like I just feel like I wanted to hear it on like an original track.
Original track, maybe just slightly touch up on that production side of like a little bit extra mix or.
I like the hook too. The hook was strong. The hook was real strong. But again, to me, why it goes down to a 4 is just the originality of the beat. That's the only thing. That's just like I get it though. Like
what you got, Specs?
See, all right. Here's the thing. I'm not biased, yo, but I didn't expect that shit, like that song when I heard it. So I was like, all right, cool. And then I heard the bridge. I was like, cool. And then I heard the bars, the verses and shit. I was like, my niggas having some fun. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They're just having some fun right now, still, I like it though. This nigga had the bop. He knows what I'm talking about. When you hear this shit, you know what I'm talking about. This nigga had the bop, you know what I'm saying? The bop did that shit, so I fuck with it.
Right.
I'm gonna give it a 4.5, yo.
You can still make
a
it sound nice.
4.5.
Yeah.
Yo, even though it's not what I expected, still man or man, still, man could make songs for ladies and shit. Ain't nothing wrong with that.
Of course. And it's not like it's
I ain't mad at that.
It's not like it's cotton candy and bubble gum. It's just a little, it's just a little, for the ladies. And it still sounds
grown people stuff, just grown man talking.
No one's mad at that. And I think
you got different sides. You got different sides. No man's one way all the time.
I think as every artist.
Shout out Pound, bro.
I think as every artist, you look at somebody like 50 Cent, who's arguably like, they say like, one of the big gangsters. Like that guy made a living off of doing girl tracks, right? So, you gotta like know how to, you gotta know what's gonna work in terms of like marketing your product, right? And know your lane and understand your lane, and like just segueing back to like the whole Buttons thing we were talking about, and people like shitting on him for
not this again.
No, but I'm trying to say though, right? Like it's great that artists can step out of their lane sometimes and capitalize off of the sound and do their thing, right? And if you can do a good job out of it, then good for you, right?
Agreed.
So it's like the fact that Pound could do that on the level that he's at with what he's doing. Yo, that just shows. Like Pound's,
and he told us too when he was on the show last time when we had him on. He was talking about it. He was like, "Yo, I'm working on some new stuff."
Yeah,
so, and he was saying it's a lot different.
And I'm just happy for him.
So
the fact that he's consistent enough to keep making the music, because I think he's definitely one of the best artists in the city doing his shit. So
I'm excited to hear something like the next thing from Pound, and the next thing from all you artists, and shout out to anyone that's watching, any of the artists out there that have been submitting music. We appreciate you. You're putting your neck out there in the sense of like you never know what we're gonna say here, on this mic. So no, but we're all keeping an honest opinion, and if we think a song's whack, we'll say it. But shout out to all you guys. Keep
hit the
submitting.
comment section.
Please.
If you think that we're wrong, if you chime in your opinions, whatever, man. Like big up. We're just four dudes that just
don't disagree. That's it.
We have nothing better to do on a Monday evening.
Hey yo, big up everybody who sends in music still, because at the end of the day, everybody's on a mission still, no matter what it is, musically. So
and hopefully something that we said helped, and can maybe make that next track even better.
In the words of Papoose, good luck with your career.
Shout out to Hollywood in the back, Mr. Hollywood.
Big up Hollywood.
All right, Connected Dot, we're here. Mike Guts, Dre Specs, Director Dan Barker, and Specs Thomas. You already know what it is. We'll see you guys on the next show, and thanks for subscribing. Peace.
We connect the dots. I rep in the block that I'm from. My city is second to none. Foot in the dirt, put in that work, the job, we're getting it done. It's been a hell of a run. The best is still yet to